Hi class, I wanted to give you some video feedback. I'm going to look at these as a first-time site visitor, even though I clearly have seen these already, but we're going to go through and see how a user would interact with your site. We'll check the usability, the layout, what needs to be included, what's maybe doesn't need to be there. So let's just jump right in. Rashawn, nice. I like this image. You probably have a little bit of headroom that you don't need. It is a good rectangle, but there is a lot of headroom. You might crop in a little on the shoulder if you needed to reduce some of that head space. This is easy to read. Let's grab that column and select that point and bring it in a little bit so it's not quite so wide. That gives you a little more space here between your image. Let's see, this is 20 points. Probably could go 18 for Helvetica. It's a pretty easy to read font. And see what that does to your line spacing, which is a little bit right now, but probably the size has to do with it. And that should help a little bit to even out, because you will lose a little depth on your image when you trim a little off here. All right, go ahead and link up to at least one professional account, social account. Remove all of this. That's placeholder. Good job having your copyright and year at the bottom in your footer. And you have your name and what you do up here. You may want to make your name bolder or larger. This could go probably underneath it. Make sure when we get to your work that we see both of these. Otherwise, we just want to see whatever you're doing in your project page. Make sure that that's what you're calling yourself. Services, that sometimes can be vague. So it's sometimes better to say what your service is. So it might be, videographer, for example, or videos, right? You don't have anything here, so delete that page. It's not essential. And let's see. Okay, good. You have this here. It is good to be able to select that play so it doesn't play automatically. But good job listing what you do. We just want them to be able to control when it's playing. But good job. You didn't, send them to your YouTube. That's great. You embedded it. Nice work. You might be able to make it a little larger, even, depending on the resolution of the image, and close this space up just a little. Okay. This you can say gallery. That's fine, but I think what you need to do. Let's see. Okay, talent and P. You can just say DP instead of DOP. Okay, so this you're highlighting color grading. Editor, talent, writer, DP, and producer. Okay. Let's see. I think creative director is kind of vague. I would go for whichever second skill you use the most. Here you have color grading. If it's editor, then let's choose that. Okay, color grading. Okay. Just double checking. I know you know these answers. Color grading. Okay. You might say, you know, an editor, videographer and editor, if you want to consider color grading as, you know, video editing. But I think creative director is going to be too vague for people to understand quickly what it is you do. So you want to choose something. It's best to just have one, but if you have these different skill sets in this work that you're showing, then choose the second one that you use the most and put that here and keep it short. Remove the placeholders. Okay, the number and the address, take those out. Okay, and I'm going to show you something at the end of the video after we look at a couple that will help bring about a little bit of color or style, right? Okay, Kendra, let's see. This is the home page, and we would need it to say a little something if we're going to have it, or have a view of some of your work, maybe just one clip there, especially since this is the same image. So I would just get rid of your home page, would be the quickest thing, and that's just about the right amount. So that's all good, but this one is kind of bringing it down. So just start with your about and then your work. Okay, it's very clear what you do. Ideally, what you want to do is have it to where these thumbnails aren't cropped. It's not a deal here. You also want to try to not have overlapping text, and you would want to crop that. So when we do this, okay, all right. So you're an MC student. If you had integrated marketing, then you could also include something from that. It could be that last image was something like that. Let's see. So for this course, actually, we do look at the mobile. So let's take a look. Again, you've got to get rid of this content. Just put this at the bottom so we have a little less scrolling. You want to left align that, take all that out. That's going to come out when you adjust your desktop. Take this page out. And you don't have to say collection of projects I've worked on. You can just say collection of projects or collection of videos. Okay. Make sure that you have your asset descriptions under there with each of these. Okay. And that page is going to go. All right. So Kendra, let's take a look at your mobile. What's your spacing? This could, let's edit this down a little bit, okay? Let's, you could say strategist in content creation, you know, or communication strategist, or media content creator. But let's keep it short and easy to identify. Try to bring that down a little bit so you have a little more headroom there. Rebalance that a bit. Okay. All right. Okay, that works. All right. Going to look at Devon, and then we'll take a look at how to work on some of the color. All right. Good job. I think you have pared down the font that you're using. So it looks like you have, these are all the same, and then this. I recommend using this again, maybe here. Think about starting, you would have an H1, 2, 3, 4, and down. So put a little space here so we can see this works by itself, but once we pair it with this so closely, it's not working as well as far as the type and hierarchy. So let's bring this down a little bit, put a little space above that so it's clearly separated from the header. And let's put a little more space here, bring that over, that column over a little bit. And this is going to be smaller than this. Okay. Okay. Good. Can I go back? Okay. Good. Linked up. Good job. Yeah, I think this just needs to come in and down a little bit, and you're going to have a pretty sweet page there. These are working. Good. Good job. Nice. Okay. Good job there. A little wordy, but it's not everywhere, so maybe people will want to read it. You might need to break it up. I don't know. You might find people will read that because you don't have a lot on here. Yeah, consider matching this to this. So this is not the same font. So it's an extra font. Let's see if we go back. Okay, this looks good here on the page, and that's great. Sometimes we do use this up here in your navigation. Makes it easy to read. I'm going to let you decide on that. It's not a deal breaker for me. Okay, mobile. You'll want to pin this and make the background opaque. And I will show you how to do that so we don't have overlapping here. You may want to bring this content up just a little. That file may be large. It took a minute or a second to come up. Yeah. Okay. It's all good. Close this up just a bit. And you might want to put your socials. Well, you have those there. Never mind. All right. So looking at how to pin that, if you are here, you're going to go to Settings, and you're going to freeze it to start with. Okay. All right. So if we look at this site, if we preview it, we can see that it's pinned, it's frozen, and it's not overlapping text, right? We're working backwards for a second. So if I went to change header design, now you can go to change background sometimes, but if I did this, which is what you have, 0 opacity, and I published it, and then went outside of the site editor and did this, you could see it's overlapping, right? So what you want to do is select your header, change header design. You're also going to, let's see, do this. Now, it may be called something else in yours to get there. Sometimes it's just the gear. Sometimes the gear shows up here. Sometimes it doesn't as a gear. So changing the design again, fill and color, we're going to go to 100%, and then you'll see that we have this better issue now. It's not going to happen. If we publish it and preview it, then we don't have that. All right? Okay. So that's what you want to do with that one. To change colors, right now everyone pretty much has a white background, and that's fine. But you can also change it. Avoid images. That just causes clutter, and they're not actually your images. So I'm not saying you would use this color, but you could. If you wanted to create another color, you could do that. You could choose a color from one of your photos that you have on your page, and that would be picked up, right? And that's sometimes a good way to stay within your palette. We don't need to go too bold. That can be a problem, right? And you definitely have to check the legibility afterwards. You have to make sure that you've got the high contrast. If you did a dark color like this and it was a lighter color, you're going to have to reverse that text and make it white. Okay. All right, and then you can go down to, you can apply it, and then that color will stay in your palette. You can go to apply to other pages, and you won't have all of these, thank goodness, but you can put it on other pages or all pages, all right? And that's how you can kind of get a little bit more of what you're going for, rather than just having the blank template background colors, all right? But do be very careful with that color selection, all right? You have to mind the contrast of light and dark on your text, all right? Okay, all right, everybody. I'm real happy to see where you are, and I'm excited to see where you're going to be when you have another round with it. Have a great afternoon.